Good morning, y'all. I wanted to make a quick demo of something that I've spent 3 days of my spring break making. I made an app. I've been thinking about how can teachers issue detentions easily so that it's not a burden on us or a burden on Cat or them. And so I wanted a way for teachers to be able to scan an ID. So here's a little quick screen demo that I recorded of a teacher entering a detention. They just have to select their name. They hit the little scan button. It'll scan the ID, inputting their ID number, which pulls up their name. Then they choose the infraction and then choose the assigned date. That's going to generate an email that goes out to the kid, but we could also include the parent. You could give out a little slip to remind them to show up where you write down the date. If we just pre-print a whole bunch of these little slips that you give to them. Then when it's time to take attendance, you would go into the attendance roster here, and it's going to show all the people who need to be marked for that day. It'll pull up just the students for that day, or if they were absent in the past, it'll sort of keep a running list of students who did not show up to a previous detention, like this person was scheduled on the 9th. If they do happen to show up, you could just mark this, and since it's going to clear them from the screen, it's going to give you a confirmation. But then you hit mark present, boom, they're there. If they're there on their assigned day and you hit it by accident, it doesn't clear them, but you can also return them back to present if you did it by accident. Okay, so it's super easy to issue a detention. You just scan their ID. Oh, but what if you don't know their ID? You can go in here, find student ID. You would type in the student name. Say, for instance, I'll just use David. It'll pull up their ID right here, and then you can just go back and enter it in, like the student, claims they don't know their ID. And then when it's time for us to sign up to be monitors, this might have to be like a volunteer thing, but I'd be willing to do it. We go in here, monitor sign up. I made a sheet that pulls Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we can make whatever rule we want. Like if we just want to do it on Thursdays or do it some Fridays, we can do that. But they would just select the day they're willing to serve and then save it. And that's going to add them to this list right here, which shows who's going to be monitoring when. And like I said, there's a lot of customizability here. We could serve other days, but right now I have it programmed for Tuesday and Thursday. But there's so many things this thing can do. It's we could keep track. It keeps track of the violations in the dashboard. And so if a student has multiple violations, it could generate an automatic email to CAT that lists the infractions on which day, and it would all be generated automatically, right? We could have a view where it shows the students that have the most infractions. Pretty much whatever you want with data, you could show it. I have my monitor list here, so anybody can log in and see who's scheduled to monitor. Like if you forgot, it's like, oh, who's on today? It'll show who's signed up and when, and I can show that I can limit this view to maybe just the future and not show the past. Otherwise, this list might get a little long. But that's pretty much the essence of it. I just have 4 infractions, but we could build more in there if we wanted to. And it would be a very easy way for people to issue the detention. If we're not wearing your ID properly, scan it, boom, it's logged in. And then, maybe we have it so you get 2 or 3 chances before it starts issuing the detention. I could build that into the thing. It's like violation 1, 2, third one, boom, detention. It's very customizable. So anyway, I might be crazy for doing this, but it's something I've been thinking about. Tell me what you think.